I have a favor to ask of this congressman, and excuse me, I hope Jen joins me in this. Congressman, will you file articles of impeachment against Barack Obama for the extrajudicial assassination of Abdulrahman al-Awlaki?
I was not a member of Congress then. I am
now.
I have seen,
and we can convict him and put him in prison if you want to file those.
I have seen the unconstitutional, illegal activities of Donald Trump.
In this video, Tim Pool joins the panel on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Joining Tim Pool on the panel is Michigan Congressman Sri Tander, who introduced 7 articles of impeachment against Donald Trump. With that, let's watch Tim Pool make a fool of a deranged woke congressman.
Supposedly liminal cases are actually nothing of the sort. There has been no constitutional crisis. This congressman seems to think that having bad polling numbers is an impeachable offense, is somehow a high crime and misdemeanor. It is utterly laughable, and it's because the Democrats have no agenda. Donald Trump is running to the left of them on economics and to the left of them on fighting wars and being anti-war and trying to get us out of different things and trying to settle wars. And he is a social moderate. He's not even a conservative. There is not a single value that the Democrats hold that they are not willing to immediately abandon if Donald Trump starts to defend it. It was the Democrats who thought that we had to control the border to protect working class wages. And now all you see is Democrats out there demanding free trade and demanding more access to China. You see Democrats literally sharing Chinese propaganda because it's against Trump. They have chosen China over their own working class voters. And Congressman, I'm sorry, but the UAW and the Teamsters have both endorsed the tariffs. You're in a lot of trouble in Michigan.
Yeah, well, look, auto factories are being closed. Auto workers are losing jobs. Look, the unconstitutional things. This president tried to the pump and dump scheme. Remember the memes that he profited from? Personally profited from. Remember that freedom of speech, the lawyers who had fought against him, he intimidated those and then
but Congressman, what about the sustained lawfare that was waged against Trump by the left? And by the way, one of the most self-harming acts of lawfare ever waged, because all it did was make Trump more popular and ended up getting him re-elected. So it was cretinously stupid to do it. But
Democrats have short memories. Everything they accuse conservatives of doing, they're actively doing or have done. Batya Ungar-Sargon is absolutely correct. Democrats have no strategy or plan. And as I've always said, they have no principles. So their stance or position on a policy or a topic, these days, it will change 180 degrees if it opposes Donald Trump. Like Batya said, all these things that Donald Trump is trying to do, there's documented evidence of Democrat presidents, Democrat congressmen saying we need to secure the border, saying we need to get this trade imbalance under control. When's somebody going to do something about it? And this congressman, I am trying everything I can not to be mean just for the sake of being mean, but look at this guy. Honest to God, I'm saying this sincerely. I'm not just trying to be mean. I thought this guy was a joke or like a combination of like 2 people or something made by AI. Just listen to him talk. I've seen multiple things with him. He sounds like a complete moron. God, I mean, I guess he's in Michigan. I mean, how is there not a Republican that could challenge this guy? He's a freaking loser. And I'm curious now if he's going to respond to the lawfare they used against Trump, or if he's going to try to justify it some way or just deny it. Let's get back to the video.
There can be no doubt that the left conspired collectively to try and take Trump down, put him in prison. You have people shooting him, literally, trying to kill him. And all of this led to Trump being in the White House. The Democrats have got their own backyard to clean up first before they start issuing any kind of, well, you know, isn't this all terrible? When the way you treated Trump, many would argue, was despicable. Let me bring in Tim.
I have a favor to ask of this congressman, and excuse me, I hope Jen joins me in this. Congressman, will you file articles of impeachment against Barack Obama for the extrajudicial assassination of Abdulrahman al-Awlaki?
I was not a member of Congress then. I am now. I have seen,
and we can convict him and put him in prison if you want to file those.
I have seen the unconstitutional, illegal activities of Donald Trump. And those are the ones that I am holding him responsible for.
Nobody cared when Obama murdered American citizens. especially a 16-year-old
Obama is
kid
not-
who is not a target.
Obama is
who has
not the
civilian
president right now. Is Donald Trump is the president? Is the people
No.
are hurting? He's the one who is grabbing power. He is the one who's taking power away from Congress, and the funds that Congress has appropriated, he is not releasing those funds. He's putting a hold on that. He's the one that illegally put a Doge and a unelected, unconfirmed Elon Musk in charge
Oh, the
of
special
it.
government employee was always allowed.
He's the one who threw out that reporter from AP, from White House, trampling on freedom of speech of the press.
You're right. I should get permanent access to the White House. Otherwise, my free speech is being violated. So I'm going to go to the White House right now and insist that I'm much more well known than that reporter is. So it's a clear violation of 1A if they don't give me a pass, right?
Well,
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
he's used his power, his position to intimidate media. He's used that to intimidate
So is
law
Obama.
firms.
This is ridiculous. When Anwar al-Awlaki was assassinated, an extrajudicial assassination, and his 16-year-old son by Obama, the Democrats defended this and they said he should have had a better father. No one cared. Nobody cared. I know Jen cared. I know he's talked about it. I'm mad about it too. So now when you come out and you say Trump's going to be impeached because he's doing things that are unpopular, I'm personally offended.
It's not
because
unpopular.
the
It's
president
illegal.
Murdered
Illegal and
Americans. No one did
unconstitutional.
anything. And you
It
could
is-
right now file those impeachment articles. We could get a criminal hearing and a conviction of Barack Obama for the murder of a 16-year-old. The 16-year-old Abdulrahman al-Awlaki was not a combatant. He was at a civilian restaurant in a country we are not at war with. And why won't anyone do anything about it? I'll throw a cherry on top. When Donald Trump in his first term, when he first gets elected, he ordered a commando raid in Yemen, which reportedly killed a 7-year-old American girl as well. We don't have the same evidence on that one. I want that criminally investigated as well. How about you pursue those cases? But you know what? You won't, because when it comes to bloviating nonsense pertaining to the economy or what Trump may or may not be doing, no one ever goes after the war machine. No one ever tries to target the extrajudicial authorities of the executive branch and their unilateral authority to declare war. There's never been a war declared since World War II, and you're not going to do anything about it. No one will.
Look, this president has personally gained through the meme coins. This president has personally gained through the deal that he forced and intimidated.
Well, do you believe? Okay,
those
but
law
let me
firms
ask
to
you
do.
then, Congressman. Do you believe that Joe Biden personally gained from what his son was up to in Ukraine, working for energy companies for which he had zero experience? And he's
Well, I was not a member of
given
Congress.
backdated pardons to all his family to protect any proper legitimate legal investigations of.
This guy is a freaking moron. Have you heard him name one thing that Donald Trump has done that's an impeachable offense? He said something about a pump and dump scheme. I had to look it up. I was like, wow, I would think that would be all over the news, man. Donald Trump launched a meme coin. He launched the coin before he was inaugurated, and I think any coin is trying to pump up its value. The problem is here, Congressman, there's no dump part. Meme coins that are pump and dump usually spike in value, then the owners sell it all, and all of the little people lose their money while the guys who are in on the scam sold, tanked the value to zero, and left all the other investors with the bag with a meme coin worth nothing. So if your argument is that he's enriching himself because of a freaking meme coin, the dude doesn't take a presidential salary. He's the first president in history to come out of office with less money than he went in with. Do you understand how your argument that he's in this for his own financial self-interest is utterly ridiculous and no one will take you seriously? Anyway, let's wrap up the video.
What they may or may
Well,
not have been
not the member
doing
of Congress.
with countries like Ukraine and China, when there's a widespread belief they're all putting money in their pockets.
Well, I'm just here as a member of Congress. I've
Yeah, but it
read
seems to me,
around
with
this-
respect though, it just seems to me you are so blinded by totality of hatred to Trump and everything to do with him that you can't see the wood for the trees. You can't praise him for anything. And actually, you're not interested in any crimes committed by Democrat presidents. You're not interested in any money guzzling behavior by the previous incumbent of the White House. All you care about is Trump. And it would have been a little bit more intellectually honest if you had cared a little bit more about what your own party were doing, because they've been up to a lot of no good for quite some time.
Well, look, I had 12 in-person town halls in the last 40 days. I've talked with hundreds and thousands of people all across America. And people are, we worry about now. Donald Trump is the president today. He's the president for the last 100 days.
Piers put it perfectly. He's just like every other Democrat. All they care about is opposing Trump. This douchebag said, and by the way, what's up with that hair? Is that a piece? It just doesn't fit his face. But he's been all over the country, according to him, and he's spoken to hundreds of thousands of people. I have a few things in response to that. One, I've seen Democrat rallies and town halls. Nobody shows up. Secondly, who the hell are you? No one is wasting their time to hear you speak. And finally, we know there's no way you talk to 100,000 people. The real number is probably 20 to 30. And if they were brain dead enough to see you at a town hall, don't you think they might already hate Donald Trump and agree with anything you suggest that hurts him? But we want to hear from you. What do you guys think about this panel of Tim Pool, Batya Ungar-Sargon, and this dopey congressman? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you in the next one.